Hi everybody, this is Shauna from Shauna.plans on Instagram and here on YouTube. So I totally spaced and didn't film a video last night after everyone went to bed. I got cozy with my iPad playing around and just forgot. So here is a quick Monday morning video instead of Sunday night. Yesterday I participated in the pajama planning live stream that Jenna from Lenny Digitals does every Sunday. It's 10 o'clock my time. I'm Pacific time. And she does some planning and we chat. It was like 2.5 hour stream yesterday. Super entertaining. Anyway, Jenna mentioned an app called Widgy. So I spent a good chunk of yesterday afternoon playing with it. If you have updated the iOS 15 operating system on your iPad, then you will have some new features. I think some of them actually came out with iOS 14. So I thought today we might play with that a little bit. It's not really digital planning related, but it kind of can be, because you can use your digital planning stickers to decorate your homepage on your iPad or your phone. This all works on your phone as well. So this is what I ended up with after a few hours of Googling, YouTubing, and poking around, and I just thought I'd show you how I did it. So the background is actually a digital paper from Digital Curio, and the way I did that, let me show you. I'm still learning where everything is here. So I have all of my digital backgrounds saved in, or papers, saved in a folder on my files. The digital papers tend to be very memory heavy, so I find keeping them in files works a little bit better. So I have tons. We all know that I love sort of the vintagey look, so maybe let's switch it up. I'm gonna do this one. Now I couldn't find an easy way to make it my wallpaper from here. So what I did is I went save image, and then I went to my images, and oh, this is gonna take forever. My images are a mess. It often will put it save by date order, so that could, here, see, it's up here. So sometimes when you save things to your images, they go to the very top. So I'm going to select this now, and I'm going to say use as wallpaper and set, and I'm just going to set that as my home screen, not my lock screen. So now if we go back here, you can see I have that paper in the background. It's super pretty. So you can put any of your digital papers as the background on your iPad, and I'm pretty sure, I haven't tried it on my phone, but I can't see why it would be any different on the phone. Now, when I did the iOS 15 update, it automatically gave me these 3 widgets at the top. This one is my calendar, the clock. I don't use alarms on my iPad, so I don't really have anything set here, but I can tap it. World clock, alarm, stopwatch, timers, they're all there. And then it pulled the weather app as well, and it takes me to weather.com if I tap it, or I can just see the weather for the next few hours where I'm located. And look, it looks like I'm gonna have thunder and lightning this afternoon. That's kind of exciting. We don't get that very often here. This was a widget stack, so I can say edit widget, and here's my weather forecast, so I can change the location. When I first loaded it, it had a different city, so I had to change it to my city. I haven't quite figured out how to do the stacks, but if you long press on an empty spot on your screen, everything starts to jiggle, and you can see there's this little plus icon that pops up here, and there's all the different things. So you can do a smart stack, and you can add different widgets. So you can see here, I'm not sure if you can, it's really tiny, but there's a whole bunch of dots. And so now I've added all these widgets to this smart stack. If I long press, I can edit the stack. So that one's pictures, Procreate, scanning. You can remove them from your stack. Some contacts. The contacts ones are kind of neat. When I'm not going to use them, but it brings up all the info for your contacts and any history that you might have had with them, which is kind of cool. Anyhow, so I'm going to actually remove this stack because I don't want it. And now everything's all messed up. The order you can see is different. I spent most of yesterday dragging things back into the order that I wanted them, which is fine. And you have to think when you have them in the order and portrait, it's going to look totally different when you rotate your iPad and have it sorry, this is portrait. No, this is landscape. When you rotate it to portrait, it's going to be totally different. So let's use the Widgy app. So I went to App Store and I downloaded Widgy. And I find this like, I've never used any other widget app, but I feel like this is the Zoom Notes version, meaning I personally don't use Zoom Notes because it has so many tools and so many functions. It's overwhelming. And as soon as I open it, I don't know where to start. Nothing is intuitive for me. And so it takes, if I were to use Zoom Notes, it would take a little bit of work to learn how to use it, which is why I happily stay in my little rut with GoodNotes. So I feel like Widgy is like that. It has so much that you can do, not totally intuitive, but I downloaded it. I paid the $5 for the upgrade. Like you can use it for free, but you only get like one widget or maybe two widgets, just a couple widgets. If you pay $5, you get more widgets that you can create. So I've created a few here. They give you some suggestions as well, different things. You can search, but the search feature is not fantastic. But you can go through and there's all these widgets other people have made. And so you can load those in and use them yourself. This one here was one of the suggested ones. It's a random quote. You can see it on my page here. No one has ever become poor by giving, it says Anne Frank. Isn't that pretty? So you can pull in that widget. Where did my widget app go? And use it. So when I first pulled it in, if you go to manage, this is where you pick your widgets. So if I select this one, this is the default that it came with. Now if I go back to my page, it has that blurred out photo background on it. So I wanted to match it, and the color, the widget that I had, this one, it's actually that same color there. You can see behind Gibraltar there on the calendar. And so what I did is I tapped this and I said edit as a copy, because I don't want to edit the original one and screw it all up. Then I have to find it again and download it again. Don't want to do that. Now I'm gonna go into Procreate because Procreate is my comfort. I'm gonna grab this digital curio paper and I'm gonna pick the green. I want like the dark green. So I'm just using my finger and long pressing and just dragging it around until I find the shade of green that I want. And I'm just gonna make a new layer and I'm gonna drag this green onto it. And we'll go share, PNG, save image. Now I'm gonna go back into Widgy and I'm gonna show you a few things. So this app, Widgy, is already made, but we can still edit it. So I'm gonna change the background. So what I've done here, I've tapped image and then I've selected image on this menu up here, system, and then image library. Now it took me forever just to find the image library so I could add pictures to things. You can see if I choose this one that I already have as my background, it blurs it out. So I'm going to say confirm, and I'm going to go to manage, and I'm going to change this widget to this one that I just edited that matches my background. And now if we go to the background, you can see it changed. So the colors do match. It blends a bit. It's a little blurry and kind of abstract. Don't love how this works out. So let's go, oops, I know what I'm doing. I need to go back to create. I'm going to tap this one and edit it. And I'm going to go back to my image layer, image, and image library. And I'm going to pick this solid green that we made using a color from the background. And so I'm happy with that. And we'll say confirm. And now back to manage. And because I edited it, it automatically updated, so I don't need to select it here. But you can see now it's on there, and it's a nice contrast from the background. Okay, so the next thing that I did is I made this widget with the calendar. So if you're in the Patreon group for Lenny Digitals, Jenna gives you a free calendar each month. So once the October one comes out on Friday, I'm gonna redo my whole page and make it a spooky October theme. But in the meantime, I wanted to use the September calendar. So I also did that in Widgy. Let's just make a new one from start. So I want create a widget, and I picked medium. So small is 1 square, medium is 2, and large is 4. And that seems to be all you can do in this app. So we have our medium square there, and we're going to add a new layer. We're going to add an image, and then I'm going to tap image here and back to system and image library. You can choose files. There's a bunch of different options. Haven't played with them a whole lot yet. And now we're going to scroll way up here because I know that little calendar is there somewhere. All right, here it is. And so you can see it pops it in as a little square, but I can use my fingers and stretch it. There are 2 options here, fill and fit. Fit will make it to the most limiting dimension. So it leaves those white squares. So we don't want that. We want fill so that the whole box is filled in. And it's kind of finicky how you grab it and drag it to stretch it. So you just have to kind of play around until you get it the way you want it. You can see. So there we go. We've made that widget, and I can confirm. Now I have it here. Let's edit that widget. I'm going to go image again, image, and back to my image library. I'm going to use that. I saw a Maynard sticker just so you can see it different. So this is another sticker from Patreon, and it's a badge. It's not fitting nicely here, but I'm going to go with it. You know what? No, I'm not. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go into my images. I'm going to find that little badge. And I want to duplicate it. I don't want to wreck this in case it's my only version. Copy? No. How do you duplicate a picture? I feel like this should be easier than it is. Ha, duplicate. Okay, so now I have 2. So I'm going to edit. Now, when I put this in the picture before, the edges were still showing. It wasn't big enough to have the top edge, but the side edges were showing, so it didn't look fantastic. So I'm just gonna do a quick crop and take the edges off. And call that done. I'll go back into Widgy, and I'm gonna go to my I don't know where I am. Not there. Image library. And that one we duplicated should be all the way. No, where did we go? That was it, wasn't it? Okay. It's still not great, and it doesn't seem to let you like shift it, but it's a little better than it was. So let's go with that. Confirm. So we've made this new widget. If I go over to manage, it's here because we were editing. So if I go back to my page, you can see there's the widget that we just made. So I had to use that cropping to do these photos that I have. I've lost a widget. I should have one more. Anywho, so that's how I made the photos. I cropped them to a square and then I layered them onto that size of widget. So I feel like I've said the word widget a million times. I also, oh, and then to put it on here, so I'm gonna long press. So far I've just been editing the ones that I already have. So long press till it jiggles and then do the plus sign. And then I used to have like a little thing that said widget. I don't know where it went. So I'm gonna pick widget here and I'm gonna add a widget. So I'm just gonna swipe. Now sometimes these boxes don't show, like they don't automatically update the widget. And so you just have to remember it was like small box number 8 and then select that and then it will show the picture on the screen. So I found this horoscope widget in the Widgy Explorer. So I'm going to add it here. I'll just show you where I found it. I went Explore and it was just one of these and I liked it. So if you find one that you like, you can bring it up and you can import it. Now it says Widgy import, and if we go here, the one that we picked is here. So now we can select it and I could add it to these ones. So these are all the ones that I've made. Manage is where you put the ones that maybe you want to pull onto your screen. And it remembers it. So if I can just keep changing what's in this slot and it will automatically put my calendar on. Everything's kind of a mess right now. Okay, so here is the Aquarius one that we did. How you make it yours, because I am a Gemini, not an Aquarius, is beyond me. I just pulled it to show you. Let's see if we edit home screen. Nope, that's not doing it. Anyway, you can see I haven't figured it all out. There are so many options. I'm guessing if we go back to create and we edit this horoscope. Oh, see, I don't think this one changes. I think that's just the text that it is all the time. But you could change the background on it the way we did. Image, system, image library. We could make it match, confirm, and now it matches just like we did with that one. I don't think it updates the horoscope. This one, the quote changes all the time. I'm not sure who built the API, but it's pretty cool. Okay, so now I want to put everything in order and back the way I want it. So I don't want this widget. Don't want this one. And I'm missing the picture of my kiddo. This one seems to have gone. So see, this is small widget slot 1, 2, and 3. So I'm gonna plus, and I'm gonna go to widget, and I want to add Tyler's picture back on. So now I'm going to move things around. I like to have my little calendar. See, everything moves unpredictably. It takes a bit to get it all where you want it. See, I spent so much time dragging apps around. Oh my gosh, I want this one down here. I'm sure it wasn't this challenging before. Okay, so that's how I want my top row. That's where I want those. This one here, this one here. I'm sure there's an order that they all go in. And if I knew it, this would probably be less random, but I don't know it. So in addition to making the widgets, I also put all of my files into folders. You don't have to do this. You could just put your most used stuff here. But for me, I wanted the stuff that I use the most down here. And then I wanted to not have to swipe side to side. I used to have like 5 swipes to find all my different things. So now I can just tap a folder. So I have all my social networking, everything digital planning, shopping and finance. That's not what I meant to hit. Games, entertainment, everything else in this folder. These two I use every day. Well, I try to use my exercise thing every day, but I'm hoping by putting it there that I'll actually use it. This is a silly game that I'm playing to waste the spare time I don't have. So over here I have my text, Safari, email, photos, and Weight Watchers. So those stay put all the time. And then this is my most recently used apps. So they change as I use different things. So for me, this is working. I'm sure I'll switch it up a bit, how I have things organized, but for now I'm trying to work with it. And like I said, for October, I will switch this all up to match the new calendar we get from Jenna of Lenny Digitals. I don't know how this is gonna work with the camera, but I just want to show you. Oh, I'm messing up my placemat. I just want to show you when I turn this. Can we still see that in the screen? So you can see now the order is totally different, but it's still somewhat pleasing. So I set it up this way, how I like it, not so much this way. The widgets are all in different orders. Ideally, I'd have my calendar at the top and the weather under it, and it's not doing that. But if I start messing around with it, it's gonna change it when I rotate back to landscape. So it's definitely something, I don't know if I'm straight. I hope I am. It's definitely something fun to play with. And it's a great way that you can use your digital planning stickers and digital papers to decorate your homepage, something I will spend more time playing with. So I hope that was helpful to you and you enjoyed that video, a little different from the normal. Give me a like and a subscribe. I will link, what will I link? I guess Widgy in the description if I can find a link for it. And I will be back on Thursday to talk about the new releases from Pink Punch Studio. So have a great day, everyone. Bye.